Hey everyone, welcome to the rewatch of Charade, the classic film with Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn, and composed by Henry Mancini. And I'm gonna let the prof take the reins on the director's name because I forgot.
Stanley Donen.
Thank you. Thank you. I just think about the composer.
Wake
The
up!
director as well.
Wake up!
That's Melissa in the background. I will try to mute when she flips out. Sorry, folks.
No worries, no worries. And let's see, I'm just gonna go on YouTube just to make sure everything's all good there. All right, let's see who is in the chat. Of course, I see Troy. Now, Al was first. I saw that like 4 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Al and then Troy. I know Melissa was on and some other people. We've got Wolf 10 Media and Owen Lister. Thank you guys for coming. Yeah, finally, Steve Cruz coming onto my live stream. I haven't seen him, and I feel a little jilted when he's not on Monday nights. I wonder why that is so. But Stephen Cruz is on, and by the way, actually, let's put the plug in for Netters Network because I think that's a fine name, and I'm excited about your upcoming content, Netter. So yeah, and thank you for joining. So let's actually introduce everyone. We have Professor Geek currently muted. We've got Professor Geek's. Oh, go ahead and say hi.
Hi.
And we've got his trusty TA as always, Big Al. Say hi, Al.
Hi, Al.
Right. And we've got something Klingon, Troy Pacelli. Go and say.
That'll be just fine. Thank you.
Yeah. And Mrs. Klingon herself, Netter. So, thank you guys for coming on. And yeah, I hope you guys, you on the panel and also you guys in the chat, hopefully if you've gotten the chance to see Charade, if you like it, if you guys had any first impressions, what did you guys think of the film before we start here?
Actually, I've never seen it, so.
I've never seen it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, man. That's going to distract me.
I love Cary Grant because he was in Arsenic and Old Lace, and I did that play in high school. So I've seen that film dozens of times.
I've seen one of his when he's younger, but this is the first film of his that I saw, and he's very debonair and very charming.
I love that this is a movie that retains all the screwball comedy aspects, but also manages to be a suspense spy thriller as well. Because it's got that witty dialogue and all the comedy there. And Donen's so used to directing musicals, and he's a dancer himself, that his comedy is just highly choreographed. It's so fun to watch, and it actually makes you laugh out loud.
I think this was the second Cary Grant film that I ever saw after North by Northwest.
Great. Yeah.
Wow.
And the other one I had seen, to be honest, I cannot remember the title. So if I see it, I'll let you guys know. And why I chose this film was Henry Mancini, of course. The original idea was Pink Panther, but I did prefer this film. I had seen this film maybe 3 times in a row when I had checked out as a student back at the university days. So very much enjoyed this one. Always a delight to see Audrey Hepburn, of course. I've seen her in other roles, and I really do like her and appreciate her. And so
one of the classic beauties.
She is. And I just love the sound of her voice and those eyes and just the class. I miss the class. And I like all her outfits on this film. So I see we have Lisa Kelly and Julie Whitefeather. Welcome. Thank you.
We have almost my whole Klingon ship here.
Are you serious? That's great. Is this from Orville Nation?
It could just as easily be.
That's awesome.
Hi, guys. You also have I think it dropped off your chat, but you have a friend from Europe named Misam, who was the second person to comment.
Yes, I had seen that, but it rolled away, and I couldn't remember the name. So hopefully they're back.
And Chris P. and Wolf 10 Media.
Oh, awesome! Now, actually, if any of you don't mind, just in case, I just want to give you guys a forewarning there in the chat. I'm on 2 separate browsers to see the film, so I might be a little sparse with my analysis, between analysis, watching the film, commentary, and all that. I might be a little bit sidetracked as far as getting to the chat. So if, Troy, you are you'll be my ambassador for
I'll
chat.
do my best. Absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
And Nanette. My mom. But let's go ahead, and if you guys have nothing else to say about this, I think we'll just run into the intro, and I'll do my very best to talk about the analysis while we're doing that animated intro. Yes.
Where are we going to be starting at?
That's a good question.
What's our key point? Yeah.
I have. Oh, it looks like I have a few seconds before the Universal Pictures. Do you guys have a Universal Picture?
Yes.
Yeah, because mine has a Criterion Collection thing at the beginning too.
Yeah, me too. Let's actually. I'm going to scroll it over right to the Universal Pictures. It looks like that looks like 11 seconds in. So I'm going to do that. And if we're
so
off,
11 seconds. I'm in space and it's about to get together.
Yeah, I think you and I have the same version.
Yeah.
1 second for you.
Do you guys need any additional time before I count down to 3, 2, 1, play?
I don't think Muhammad's here, so we might be good.
Exactly.
Sounds great. I'm going to just quit a couple of apps and pull up my notes. Well, I guess I should hit play first, then pull up my notes. All right. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and say 3, 2, 1, play, and press play when I say
And just
play.
to confirm, we're on space before Universal?
I think so.
Okay.
The Final Frontier. These are all sorry. Going in a different direction.
That's Paramount.
Yeah, get your studio straight. All right. This is 3, 2, 1, play.
Universal Pictures.
Right. Okay. So I'm here. I'm seeing it as well. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you hear my movie?
I heard something. Well, that might have been mine.
No, I mean I hear mine. I don't I don't hear any echoes though.
Right. Now, I like this opening scene. We are in the opening scene right before the train railway, correct?
Yes.
Right. It's painting over a dank, dark.
There's the train tracks.
Yeah, that's very interesting opening. And then we get into that animation short, which I will talk a little bit about the music and all of that. And after that, feel free to comment.
Oh, and he's wearing white pants. That's not going to be pretty.
I think that's the least of his problems.
Well, still,
So let's talk about it, since this is an animation short, pretty much with all the credits. Let's go ahead and talk about the music. First of all, I think the choice of instrumentation to start this film is pretty interesting. It's like this incessant woodblock, which might not actually come across very effective. It might come across as quite harsh. But this is the same instrument, that same incessant percussion that is used in the last chase scene, as we'll see.
So it's that clippity cloppity sound, right?
Yeah, and that kind of woodblock sound is really a characteristic of that jazz, maybe that big band.
Yeah.
And I think something I feel like Troy and Nanette would like. Well, I don't know who likes James Bond.
Yep.
Oh, you like James Bond. So
I made the connection in the tone of the music. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to bring this up now.
But did you also notice that clippity clop can also be tied into the train that we just saw a second ago?
Yeah, very much so.
True.
Yeah, that's actually really a pretty good point. Now, the connection with James Bond is that the choice of harmony. I did an analysis of this song about Friday night or Thursday night, and it's the same harmony used for that first James Bond theme. Is it Dr. No? Is it 1963?
Dr. No was the first Bond film, yes.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I think the music is using the same exact harmonic progression. Now, the thing is, I don't know who came first, whether it was Mancini or the composer for the Bond film, because it was both music songs, music pieces were released the same year. But this kind of harmonic characteristic is very much a part of the spy, private eye mystery, kind of that crime scene. What they use specifically is a little bit of mode mixture, in that they take the 6th degree of the scale, the minor scale, and they raise it. And that was a shorter animation than
Looks like Professor Geek's having some issues with Alyssa.
Oh, no problem. I will go between back and forth between you guys.
Whoa! Ooh, a Luger.
Yep, that is a Luger.
I may be about 8 seconds or so behind you guys, because it's pausing.
And you know what's funny is because you can see down the barrel before he fires.
Yeah,
you know that it's a squirt gun. Yeah.
I may have those sunglasses.
I love the fact that her mascara doesn't run.
Why does that little kid remind me of me when I was that age?
Yeah,
kind of a little chubby, and I have an old picture of me with like a hood, with like a jacket with a hood on it.
You have an adorable French accent to go along with that.
Probably not. Although, if it was me, I'd probably just been staring at the pretty lady.
Right. Now, actually, Troy, I wanted to bring up diegetic music.
Mm-hmm.
So this has to be Mancini's music in the background, but it's kind of used where people are hearing it in the background as they're dining out here.
I don't know why diegetic music isn't used more often, because you want music to be incorporated into your soundtrack, but there's many instances in life where ambient music is appropriate, so why not?
Right.
Beautiful scenery. I love that.
I like a lot of the set pieces. Oh yeah, Big Al, this is your first time watching it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Oh, that voice.
In fairness, it's been many years since I've seen it.
Last time I saw this movie was about 9 or 10 years ago. Yeah, I like that salon kind of lounge music, that restaurant music. So Henry Mancini is just that was the characteristic, from big band to lounge and jazz ensemble, or very short, small, intimate jazz ensemble.
Did you notice he got the camera wet?
I don't know. If that was my kid, he'd be over my knee and getting a spanking. You don't do that.
I didn't even notice that. Thanks for pointing that out, Troy.
Yeah, I always like to keep an eye on like when the lenses get a little bit of water on it. I like it. Peter Joshua are the names of Stanley Donen's kids.
Oh, cool to know.
That's why that character was named that. One of the few things I found on IMDb.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were originally trying at one point talking about Warren Beatty and Natalie Wood for the film, because they actually thought he was a bit too old for this at the time. He was just hitting 60.
There are some lines inferring his age between the age difference between her character and his character.
Yeah, I think they're about 25 years apart, maybe at this time.
Pretty well preserved, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, Cary Grant was a handsome man.
I might be of a minor opinion, but I thought he looked more handsome as he was older than when he was much younger.
Yeah, he is one of those guys that aged very gracefully, and he's like a Sean Connery. Yeah, he did see with the gray, just kind of just added something to his character. That sense of that maturity and I don't know. But, ooh, I like the fireplace, but oh man,
What the heck happened to her house?
she's been ransacked.
So just to be clear, am I the only one who's seen this? Is this y'all's first time seeing this?
No, I have seen this before.
No, Troy's seen it. I think Professor had seen it.
Gotcha.
Great space, though.
Although, in truth, I've probably forgotten more than I remember.
A terrible paint, though. I hate the color, but I like the space.
Chris P says it's the house from Xanadu, but are you talking about the set piece or just?
It looks similar to that set piece in that set from Xanadu.
It very much does look like it's a similar setup. Yeah.
Daniel,
it's even framed in a very similar way.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, you say, do you have the Entrada complete score release of this? No, I don't have any hard copies of any of these scores, but yeah, definitely worth looking into for sure. I'm as Spartan as Spartan as they come when it comes to material items.
Mm-hmm.
Sound Engraver, if you don't mind, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Daniel Heron and thank him so much. I just got a care package from him the other day. He sent me some posters that was really, really nice.
Yeah, he said, me too. He's Professor Geek. I got it through Professor Geek. But he sent me a lot of soundtracks.
Oh, great!
I'm looking forward to that. I was looking at some of them, and like I don't have any of the ones that he's sending me.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, as far as commentary on story, I'm afraid I'm just in the music department. But basically, she's, confessing that she knows very little about her dead husband, and this is infuriating the French inspector.
God, you put a little hat on him, and he'll look like Clouseau. Would have been a great crossover. Put Clouseau in this film. I like a little map of Paris in the back. I never knew Paris was round like that.
I like how he gets frustrated that she won't let him smoke a cigar.
Which is funny because Audrey Hepburn smoked like a chimney.
And she smokes in a lot of these scenes.
She's like smoked three. I think she was 3 packs a day.
In fairness, it's very different. Cigarettes versus cigars. A lot of people don't like the smell of cigars, and he shouldn't be annoyed because he did ask.
That is true.
If you ask, then you are submitting yourself to the other person's preference.
Lufthansa, a Lufthansa bag. I like that.
Hey, Melissa Harris, welcome.
Looks like a bowling bag.
Mm-hmm. It's like a little travel bag. I've always loved. I love little bags like that for some reason. I don't have any need for one right now, but I have one of those bags that I got free from AARP when I joined, and it's perfect to wear around my neck when I'm in my wheelchair, and I got all my stuff in my little bag.
Well, I can kind of agree with her. I mean, cigars are really smelly.
Yeah. Ooh, a fountain. I need a good fountain pen. Not as fun a checking possession scene as Blues Brothers was, but pretty fun.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Ooh, a man of many identities, many passports.
And I love what Mancini does with the score here. When there's, it's not really a tense scene. It's just kind of mysterious, like what's going on. He uses it's between a piano, a vibraphone, and a xylophone. And then when you get into a room like this, it's just like, oh, that beautiful piano, kind of like you're expecting to hear this in the corner of a restaurant.
Cary Grant. Loved his voice.
As a silhouette. And actually, I believe I have the volume quite low, but I do believe that the theme is playing in the background as they're talking. And actually, I wanted to bring that point. The diegetic music, diegetic. Sometimes I can't spell it or say that word, but it's very interesting. The use of music in the background, like as if music were playing in a scene in a restaurant or on the boat or in a marketplace or something like that. That theme, that his melody that he has written, the song that they've written, him and Johnny Mercer, it plays around both as part of the soundtrack, but also part of the diegetic sounds. And so you'll hear it in a different context. Maybe it's in the piano, maybe it's in the accordion, maybe it could be with singing. There is a boat scene later in the film where you actually do hear the words of people singing the verses of this song. I think that's actually a very useful way, and I think it's a way to utilize just a main theme, a melody associated with. It's not so much associated with love as much as it is masquerade, and you wonder if people are telling the truth. That's what the theme of the story is about. Oh, this is funny. So Charles didn't have friends probably because he had 4 names. He had more names than friends. Ugh.
That is sad that you have like all those chairs and nobody there.
Except very mysterious guests coming in.
And sneezing all over the corpse.
Now, would you want to be laid out in state like that?
I would prefer to be covered.
Yeah. Man, if I had like a really nice suit of armor, and like a big long sword, like sitting on my chest with my both hands on him. Ooh, James Coburn.
He plays a great character in this film. I mean, I think he's a hammy Texan.
Okay, double checks to make sure he's actually dead with the mirror trick.
The inspector is not going to mess with this really big brooding guy.
George Kennedy.
It's really sticking it to him.
Yeah, I want to make sure he's dead. One year
Yeah.
in the mirror, this guy stuck him with a pin.
He got his answer. Now he's gone.
That's a really good point, Nanette. To be honest, I really wondered why he did that, and that would be the reason.
Yeah, because Colburn put the mirror under his nose to see if there's any breath.
Yeah, that's right. You need to make sure.
H. Bartholomew. Walter Matthau. I recognize that voice.
He definitely has a classy look to him, but he also has quite a unique look to him too.
Yeah. I'll always see him as Coach Butterbaker from the Bad News Bears. If anybody remembers those films.
That's where I always think of him from.
Yeah. I also remember film Sunshine Boys he did with George Burns was really good. I love liverwurst.
I can't remember last time I had liverwurst. I don't know if I had it.
I don't like liver,
Tastes like
but I like liverwurst.
the what?
He likes liverwurst, but he doesn't like, or he likes.
I like liverwurst, but I don't like just liver.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I actually,
Braunschweiger. I
Yeah.
love Braunschweiger.
Oh yeah, Braunschweiger. Yeah.
I actually like both. What about pate?
I've never had pate.
I feel like I've had pate before. And I remember liking it.
I've always wanted to try like the chicken liver, kind of like pate-ish kind of thing that people make.
Yeah, Wolten Media. Yeah, the prof is seeing Alyssa right now, and that's actually a really good point. Father's Day is approaching.
Yep.
I had a student talk to me about Father's Day. I was like, "When is Father's Day?" And so I had to check. But
It's
she was bad. She didn't even know her father's birthday. She's like, "I think my father's birthday is sometime this week. I'm not sure when." I'm like, "You don't know your dad's birthday?" That's terrible.
My father's birthday is in 5 days, the 18th.
18th of June. That's
June,
great.
yeah. My late father. Lost him when I was 3.
Wow.
My late father's birthday is August 13th, and he was the 13th child out of 16.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big family. There's 16 kids.
Yeah.
I think two of the, or 4 of them were twins, but, not one after the other. But yeah, there were 16 kids.
Wow. So were they each born on the day of their number?
That I don't know. I just know Dad was born on the 13th, and he was the 13th kid. And Grandma had 8 boys and 8 girls.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. My mother was the oldest of, was it 11? 9 or 9 to anywhere between 9 and 12. I forget which exactly, but she was the oldest.
I'm youngest of 5.
And I'm my mother's only child, but my father's third. He had 2 daughters many years before me, before he met my mom.
So just curious, is the plot making sense to y'all? Kind of wish the Prof was here to do that kind of commentary.
Yeah.
I love how sloppy his eating is. I would just be so uptight if I was in the room with him.
Talking with his mouthful of food and stuff like that.
But it's important to the character, though. It's establishing that very, basic. I don't care.
Yeah, he's
So
not
her
rude either.
Yeah. So her husband stole $250,000 from the government and basically kept it all away from the other guys too, right?
That's the premise. And so that's those 3 guys that attended his funeral, making sure he's dead and all that, is now they're going to be after her because they know that she's in possession of this supposed
250,000.
Yeah.
But she has no idea about any of it.
Right. So she is in danger, and that's kind of where things are going to set in motion.
So now I know I missed it somewhere in the movie. What exactly happened to all of her furniture and stuff?
What's that, Nanette?
What had happened to all of her furniture and stuff from her apartment or her house?
Now I got the idea that Charles did a lot of that.
Charles sold it, I think.
Oh.
And then he left. He was trying to leave Switzerland, I think. Or no, I think it was Paris. Yeah. I think he was trying to leave Paris.
Oh,
Punch and Judy show.
Kids are like, react.
I can see they're batting each other over the head.
I love listening to these actors' voices.
Yeah, they both had such a great cadence between the two of them. Especially Cary Grant. His voice was just one of the classics.
Yes. Inspector, he's absorbing this beating of the police.
Yeah, I read that Cary Grant, when asked, he said he would love to do another film with her, but I don't think they ever did.
Now, I don't know much about, of course, movies. Was this the only movie they were together?
Yeah, I think this is the only movie they were together in.
Yeah, they had great chemistry.
For what I read, he was offered the part in My Fair Lady.
No kidding.
But
guys, can I interrupt for a second? Evelyn Hampton's asking for a timestamp. I'm showing 27. What am I showing? 27:52, 53.
I'm around there too.
Yeah, I'm 27:51. Me right there.
28. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, right at 28. Yeah.
28, right there.
Although I would recommend skipping this scene. This is the
I will
one.
say, because of my operation, I cannot do that.
You mean the whistle?
No, the head with the head holding the orange like that. My neck doesn't go down as far.
Kind of feel sorry for Cary Grant. I mean, that's a rather big, busty woman to be trying to get that orange.
I can't even tell if she's mortified in real life or if she's just acting.
Because there's a lot of women that would want him doing that to her. To him.
This is the one scene I must have blocked from my memory. But I forget that we are in France. So it might be, I don't know.
He is having a time.
I'm sure it's really hard to do when you're laughing, too.
A very suggestive scene. Now, actually, what the music does, of course, the music in the background because they're hearing it in the club, but when they're falling in love with each other, it pulls out and there's a bit of like a reverb in the background, like they're not really aware of the music what's going around, and I think it's very effective. Yeah. Now, I'm going to say before Troy or Al does, but the more I see this guy in these scenes, I'm like, he kind of looks like J.J. Abrams. Just a little bit.
I can see it. A bald J.J. Abrams, but I can definitely see it. It's the glasses.
It's his face, too.
Yeah, a little bit, but those glasses definitely help exemplify it.
I love that green against the brown wood.
I like that phone box. That's cool.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
It's no TARDIS, but it'll work.
I love the scene. This guy cracks me up. What's his name, Al?
James Coburn.
Coburn.
Yeah, he played. There's a film In Like Flint where he plays like a super spy kind of character.
Why isn't she blowing out the match?
Maybe she's petrified.
Yeah.
And he does it much faster too, which takes so much talent. I can't work a match to save my life.
Yeah.
My next thing is scream loud. Like, girl, you need to learn some self-defense.
I heard her scream. Is that you, Troy?
It can't be because I keep going mute.
There's always a guy asleep at the lobby.
Great security.
I love this elevator.
Yeah.
I love the elevator and the stairs wrapping around the elevator as it goes up. I dig that kind of setup.
Yeah, they just don't do architecture like that anymore.
And just like the wood and how close it is.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, those kinds of elevators can't be done anymore because of regulations.
Oh, for safety?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, but I'm sure you can make it safe.
Yeah, well, we're talking bureaucracy here, Al.
Yeah.
Logic doesn't even need to apply.
Again, nice elevator, but it's no wonkavator.
True.
It's perfectly fine in its own special way, Al.
Oh, well, it doesn't fly. I'm just kidding around.
I will
Well,
say
it'll never compare to pure imagination. That's one we should do. We should really do Willy
The
Wonka.
original Willy Wonka, yeah. It's on my list. It's on my list.
Are you talking about the old one with Gene Wilder?
Yeah, well, that's the only one. Yeah, that was one of those remakes that seemed like a good idea, but the execution just was not good. Oh, he has a hook.
Yeah. Oh, I hear myself. Uh-oh.
That one might have been me. I don't know.
I think you're delaying, Troy. So close.
God, she's beautiful.
Yes.
that look, just right there. That was such a beautiful shot of her.
I think every shot of her is quite beautiful.
Yeah, but that was some just.
Now, remember how I mentioned in the Profs rewatch that when women put their hair up, it kind of ages them. Not the way they do Audrey's hair in this one. I think that's a really elegant way of putting the hair up. Yeah, he's got a classy voice.
Yep.
Yep.
Actually, I'm not entirely certain that's her hair. I think that's a hairpiece.
What? Don't
sorry.
ruin that for me, man.
Darn it, Troy.
That's a big nope.
Yeah.
That leap. What is it now, Pamela?
A little bit inelegant. I mean, he could study a little parkour while he's overseas.
Right. In a suit. Now that jump, I don't know how that's framed, but the way that the camera's looking up, it looks farther than it probably is.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't do that, even if it was close.
No.
I'm not afraid of heights, but
I am afraid of heights to the point where I almost am petrified. Like I cannot move my legs.
Oh wow.
Have you ever heard of the King's Dominion? It's a park in Virginia. They have a 1/3 scale Eiffel Tower.
Oh, okay.
And I went to the top of that, and that's where I learned, because I literally I just froze. I could not move. I couldn't even move back to get back in the elevator. One of my cousins had to help me.
Wow.
That's how I learned. I didn't know I was scared of heights until that moment.
Yeah, you can. It's easy to develop something that you may not have been afraid of before. That is for sure. I definitely experienced that. I like every character in this room. Like they each have their own different voice and mannerisms. Their rooms are nicer than hers. Just the look of it.
Yeah. Because 250,000 doesn't sound like a lot by today's standards, but it's millions today, I think.
Yeah. This was released in 1964 or 3. It's
Yeah.
such a cool set, that hotel, but it's kind of creepy.
Yeah. I like that little bell sound too that they were using.
Yeah. I believe that is a vibraphone.
Yeah.
The way they're using it very lightly. I definitely like that a lot. Henry Mancini is doing a very wonderful job in the score with using very light percussion between dialogue, between scenes, but also tense scenes, like very minimal music, one instrument, from one single pitch to maybe some cluster pitches, cluster chords in the low end of the piano to one solitary instrument note on the vibraphone. And it really does add a lot of tension and disturbance.
I personally think that the best incidental music is the music that you feel but never consciously hear.
Yeah. Now, just as a clarification, incidental music is actually music that was composed and used in cartoons and films. So most common use is the William Tell Overture. And so composed before in years past, but then used like in a Tom and Jerry episode or something like that.
Yeah. Or the Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Or Richard Strauss with the brass da da da. You know. Well, I didn't do the growing brass. I know that sounded like James Bond. But I love how casual he sounds, the man who was in your room a few minutes ago.
Yeah. I'm the one that put the hole in the door when I was trying to kill you.
He's so abrasive. Now the suspense is going to happen. She's not sure she can trust the man she's falling for.
Ugh. The big dread music. Oh.
Yeah, the low strings, yeah. And then when she blinks in surprise that he's nearby her, it's this beautiful little gesture like And I love how her eyes blink when the music cues in too. It's with the little piano gesture in the background. It's so beautiful.
And she cuts her eyes at him.
I don't suppose I could sleep in a situation like that.
Not a very thick door. You can see how thin it was.
And then we've got some saxophone. Just by the way, yeah, I did want to touch on this. You know, to add suspense, Mancini's really toying with this kind of experimentalism that was really prevalent in the 1930s, 40s, getting into the 1970s, and it's just it could be from a solitary instrument to maybe a few instruments that really just kind of bend, pitch, sustain. So if you have a wind instrument, you sustain and you kind of slow the breath down to bend the pitch down. Maybe put a mute on to add a different eerie color to it. So I was quite surprised to hear this kind of music for his score writing. Very, mysterious, but also that's a characteristic of experimentalism that was happening in the 20th century. Man, 15 minutes. I don't think I could get out of my pajamas and meet her somewhere in 15 minutes.
For me, I would just put on some slippers, throw on a coat, and go.
I didn't notice this at first. Like, do you guys hear that light piano in the higher register when she blinks in fear?
Yeah.
That's really great.
Blink.
Okay, now this with the piano when he's following her, it's a very dense chord, like a kind of not really a cluster chord, but you know, using all 10 fingers, and it's the same chord over and over, and this kind of incessant, real disturbing cluster that really creates that quiet tension, and then with the saxophone and the brass kind of creeping in as well. I'll have to remember these if ever I was asked to write music for a film.
Very smart.
Yeah, her, yeah.
Yeah, get the one going and then hide behind the one he's going to take.
I like his smile, his little grin with his mustache.
Nope. I just want a big old fire so I can roast it.
Right?
Did you see how far it went down there, though? Did you see how? Yeah. So now she's learning about who this dial person is, so that there were 5 people involved.
I say it was 18 years before, so
people have been holding a grudge against this person for that long.
like 20 years or so. Surprised they didn't form a cabal. Last one who's alive gets it.
That's kind of what's gonna start happening, though.
Yeah.
That's also a great way to paint a target right on your chest.
Yep.
I love how she's so into what he's saying, and she drops the first cigarette and lights it. It's like, do you know how much these things cost?
Not as much as they do now.
Probably, yeah. That whatever she's about to eat, I don't know what it is, but it looks very delicious. I don't know what it is. It just looks good. Some sort of meatball or cheese, something.
Oh, 2 words that just make me drool. Meatball and cheese.
I was going to say it. Are you sure it's not a French onion soup?
I was wondering that too.
Oh, that's a big bowl of French onion soup.
That's usually how it's served, with a bunch of cheese on top.
I could eat a big bowl of French onion soup.
I love French onion. And you're right, isn't there like a whole thick layer of cheese covering the soup to keep it?
Yeah, usually Gruyere and a crouton on top. Well, it's a crouton with cheese melted on it too,
and the way they
I don't think I've had it with crouton. I'm not a crouton person.
The whole bowl goes into the oven to bake until the
cheese is bubbly
and crusty. Yeah.
Oh,
I love French onion soup.
Me too.
The professor, of course, would rather die than eat it.
That's because the professor is weird.
He can have his diet or his Dr. Pepper flavored baked beans.
Yeah.
But that's a big bowl.
See, I look at this scary thing. I look at it as like, that's a small bowl. But it really depends on what it is, too.
You know, again, I don't condone anything that could be detrimental to your health, but Hepburn, she knows how to make smoking look great.
Yeah. Well, I like those little boots she's got. Had to comment on the shoes. I just realized it. It's like another comment about shoes. What am I doing?
I know, man.
But they are. They're kind
Be
of
a
sweet.
connoisseur of this. I like the man calling after her, Fräulein, you sat at my table. She's going to confuse the poor man. I feel bad for that guy. Wait.
He almost looks like Peter Lorre a little.
A little tanner. I kind of want to try that. Run after a trolley and attach myself to it.
I've done it.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Okay, just to say, I love this little stairwell. I'm a fan of stairwells, guys. So I might comment on everyone I see in the film.
I used to like stairwells, but they're kind of not really for me anymore.
Oh, I just like the look of them. I don't actually need to
Yeah,
be on them.
I know. I love the ones that like twist around a central post. I've always liked those.
I wouldn't mind a national day of men wearing suits. Sorry, guys, if that's too much work for you, but wear a suit.
You know, I agree with you.
You know, this picture of Cary Grant here, he kind of reminds me of my grandpa on my mom's side of the family a little bit. That's exactly how my grandfather wore his hair.
One thing I would say, men, pay attention to the way his collar is. See how there's actually space between his neck and his collar? If you can't fit 2 fingers between your shirt and your neck, your shirt's too tight.
Nice. I didn't even know that. Great.
That is the biggest problem that men have. Oh, I hate wearing ties. I hate wearing dress shirts. They're so tight. Well, then you're wearing the wrong size.
Interesting.
And you're tying the tie too tight.
Well, see, my thing is though, because you buy a dress shirt, you buy it by the neck size,
right?
And the problem is, if I buy it to fit my neck, the thing is like a tent on me because it does. It's like nothing matches. It doesn't.
That is the second rule of dressing sharp. Never wear off the rack. You go and buy off the rack and then have it tailored.
Yeah.
Well, I would, but you know, I'm a rural country boy. I don't exactly have a tailor around the corner.
I get you. I get you.
Oh, and Lister says I'm not comfortable wearing suits. Well, maybe Troy has a few tips.
I never used to be either until I learned how to wear it. And once I did, and you see yourself in it, you start to like it.
I've always
Wolfton Media agrees. Oh, sorry, Al.
I know. I just like I like a turtleneck that because I'm not a tie person because I don't want anyone to grab it or get stuck and my neck get pulled. That is not a good thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was able to get the no tie exemption at school because they had to have, the guys had to wear ties.
What about clip-ons?
Nope. Oh, I'm not going to wear a clip-on. I think it's hideous.
Yes, but if you didn't want
No.
somebody to grab your tie and possibly choke you. A clip-on, they go to grab it, it comes right off in their hand.
Yeah, but I asked for the exempt. They gave it to me, no problem. So I could wear a turtleneck or an open chest shirt.
I do want to point out Wolf 10 Media says, thank you. Men wear suits, women wear dresses and outfits. And actually, I want to say that because Audrey Hepburn, the outfits that she wears, I really like. Now, I know this was made in the 1960s, but one thing I really liked that I was really attracted to as a young girl. Oh, where'd Neder go? Oh, there she is. What is the actress's name? Is it Elizabeth Montgomery from Bewitched?
Yes.
Yeah.
The way she wore her dresses, like, just totally inspired me. It's just so classy, so classy. And I wish we had that. It doesn't have to be all the time, but that sense of style. I mean, I do like jeans and tennis shoes just for being comfortable, but I do like the idea of dressing the part every once in a while. I was hoping that he would ram that metal fist into the electric neon lights.
Unfortunately, the way neon works, it wouldn't have the effect that you think it
Oh,
does.
really?
All it would do is break the glass. There's no real electrical charge going through it.
Oh,
Once that glass breaks, the plasma releases and nothing happens. He would actually have to put the hook through the join either at the very beginning or the very end of that bulb.
Oh, okay.
There
That's
goes
cool.
Troy. There goes Troy ruining the fantasies again.
Well, no, it's not so much the movie, but if I was caught in the same predicament with an attacker with a metal hand and I was next to a neon sign, I'm like, oh, this is my chance, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Now that we've seen some of the noir films with Humphrey Bogart, I'm expecting every lead male protagonist to disarm an armed man like nothing.
Stephen Cruz is asking me what my favorite type of knot for a tie is. I'm kind of lazy, so a half Windsor. Sometimes if I'm really trying to do it to the nines, I'll go for a full Windsor.
Now the half Windsor is you just hold it, you go over once, and then bring it up and tuck it in, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Back. Now, this is a real brutal kind of scene.
See, it just happened.
Yeah, I saw that. But listen to the music. There's not much activity. It's just kind of the slow trombone kind of rising, sliding up.
Yeah. And you can hear it like the rising, like something's about to happen.
So you see, he got so slashed on his back.
Ouch.
And he's now rolling on his back. Then we've got that kind of that trumpet that we had heard from the film noir orchestration. Get him. Now the music is starting to escalate.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the brass working with the swinging of the arm.
Mm-hmm.
That
and
was
then the
a cool
vibraphone.
effect.
Oh, I like the sparking.
The sparking off
sparks
the
on
hook,
this-
yeah.
Yeah.
But I did figure, you'd think that would be a great way to hold on.
That's a precarious position.
And we never see how he gets out of that position.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like he wasn't too far from a window.
Next time, use the keyhole. Her room looks so much nicer after that total assault on the room earlier by Skogie, I think is his name. Ugh. Oh, Scobie. That's his name. See, I like that kind of look, that dress with the belt and down
Yeah.
to the knee.
So do I.
She always just dressed beautifully. I remember the days of Mercurochrome.
Yeah. Oh.
That's so stung.
Not as bad as methylate. They had a choice to be either pink or orange, and they both stung like crazy.
Yep.
He's probably gonna stain that new shirt of his. Unless that thing kind of can close up the scratch.
That'd be some good stuff to be able to do that. I don't know if she would have that on hand now. That like adhesive stuff.
So he's saying he's a truthful Whitefoot, but that could mean he's lying too.
Yeah.
So that old adage. They have really good chemistry in this film.
Yeah.
You can tell that's an added hairpiece because we know it's a slightly different color than the rest of her hair.
Yeah, that's how I noticed.
Oh, can't you say like she dyed it like halfway down?
In that day and age, additional hairpieces were used a lot by women.
Oh, okay. That can make sense. I mean, it blends pretty well.
That was also true in A Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Oh yeah.
The buns and the top knots and the braids were all hair extensions.
Yeah, it's like they wanted their hair to be a little bit more poofy, so they did that to add volume to it.
Troy and Nanette, I don't know if you noticed, if there was one episode where Padme, she had that headpiece that I thought was her hair.
Oh, no,
and then she took it off. I was like, well, that kind of ruins it. They've got Jean-Louis. Oh, this kid, he's not even nervous. He's like, I'm just chilling with these 3 men that kidnapped me. Where's your gun?
I don't think I could ever be comfortable wearing a sweater with shorts.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
Oh, you mean the kid? I
Yeah.
was looking at every man. I was like, I don't think they're.
Even at that age, I don't think I'd have been comfortable like that. That would have just been weird.
No, I don't. Yeah, it's been a while since I've lived in the Northwest, but that kind of thing was as much as I remember. Sandals and shorts and a long sleeve shirt. But I'm not a fan of sweaters at all. It has to be a real specific material because they're always itchy, or at least to me.
I was a big sweater guy when I was working at school and stuff. I loved a good sweater.
I was never a fan of shorts. I hate wearing shorts.
This is an odd collection of fellows.
They don't look that violent. Well, the big guy is kind of aggressive, but
Yeah.
like Tex is like, you just guys keep yourselves comfortable here while we look for the treasure. Well, thanks a lot, Nanette. Now I can't unsee that lighter brown on the back.
Sorry.
Well, it's important to know in case you ever want to do your hair like that. You could get very frustrated trying.
I wish I had naturally long hair. I just do not. I never had that. But I can never bring myself to wear extensions. I don't know.
Your hair seems pretty long as it is.
It's getting there. I gotta eat more biotin gummies. I keep forgetting to. I bought a new bottle, so hopefully my hair is thicker over the summer.
Now, is that something you take orally or you put on the hair?
Oh, actually, good call. I might do that later on my hair, but no, it's just a little gummy chews in the
Oh,
bottle.
okay.
And it does work, actually.
I think I might figured out where the $250,000 is hiding.
Oh, I'm fine with you saying it if no one else minds.
Well, it's a spoiler, so since Al hasn't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for him if I'm right.
I read the Wikipedia.
Okay. Well, near the beginning of the movie, the oh shoot, what's her name? Her. That's on the screen now with the little boy. She said something to him about bringing him a stamp. I think her dead husband converted the money into a stamp.
Well, that's a very fine deduction. And now, thanks to Troy, I can only see the sweater and shorts. Random things.
You got to understand, Nanette and I are costumers, so we know about the hair, we know about the makeup, we pay attention to the clothes. Al's just weird.
I just love how he's just jogging in the hallway saying, "We won." Now, do you think that's a forced French accent of a child actor, or that's a legit accent?
I love that what Cary's reflecting in the thing there.
Oh, I didn't see that. The first to come.
Whoa.
Someone call a plumber.
It's a pretty big guy to shove in a tub.
Difficult way to commit suicide.
Yeah. But was it suicide?
No, of course not. It was Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, I just love that you said you looked at the Wikipedia because I kind of do that too with movies I haven't seen.
But yeah. I glanced at it just for like little nuggets and stuff I
Right.
saw.
I got to admit that I usually use it for movies that I've seen but don't care to see again. But I'm trying to remember, how did that one turn out again?
Yeah, I can see that. I usually look at it for movies I do want to see,
Oh,
or I mean that I have seen that I do want to see, and then I'll look at what Wikipedia says.
did I ever tell you guys the story about Return of the Jedi and how I spoiled it for myself?
No.
Hmm.
So after having seen Empire Strikes Back and the whole, I am your father, thing, I could not wait to find out whether it was true or not. And it was going to be a while before I got a chance to see the movie. So I went and I got the comic book and I read the whole comic book to find out, yep, Darth Vader really was his father. And so that's how it ends.
Now, was it a comic that had the whole sequence of events, or?
Yeah, it was the Marvel Comics.
Oh,
The adaptation. The adaptation.
Exactly.
okay. And that you had access to that before the film was released?
No, it's just I wasn't able to get to the theater like the day it was released.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I remember I saw Return of the Jedi the day after I graduated high school.
Nice.
I was and a friend of mine who was a junior went with me, and with his father who was a teacher, his blessing. This was near the end of the year anyway, but we drove almost up to DC to see it because that was the closest place that was playing.
That's great.
Yeah, I was still pretty young in '83, so I was able to ride my bike to the comic book store, but I needed my mom to take me to see the movie. Can I just say she's got great hats?
Mm-hmm.
I know. She wears them very well. I would say the woman has to have the right face and head shape to pull that off. But I do like the look of her hats. I'm a hat person though. Next time I shop, which will be probably 10 years from now after I pay my student loans, I will get a small collection of hats because I'm a hat person. But I like the small, sophisticated hats. I don't like the too big, flamboyant hats.
Just as I read an interesting thing about that scene. In the scene where she spills ice cream on him, she used the term assassination. He used the word assassin. The movie was released shortly after the JFK assassination. They were so worried about the reaction to the dialogue, they redubbed the lines.
Wow.
And it's now a revised reel. So there's actually both versions floating around.
Wow.
And,
yeah, because that was the time. That was the year.
yeah, 63.
Right after that. Was that summer of 63 that happened?
November.
Oh, November.
Yep.
November 23rd.
The same week that Doctor Who was supposed to be premiere.
Wow. I like how he tries to act like he's not allured by her.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looks like he was when he was in his 30s in this one. I don't know why. It's like when his hair's matted down like that and how he's acting a little quirky.
And he did it in his clothes because he didn't want to take his shirt off. Because he didn't feel as in shape, as he used to
Are
be.
you serious?
Yeah, and it kind of came about that way. He was just he was nervous about taking his clothes, being topless in it.
I like that.
Bit of vanity.
I like how I have that context for that scene now. I sometimes do that.
Little squats.
When I'm on the phone or something like that, just to get. Carson Dahl had no brother.
Should know who this guy is.
Now, this boat scene, I love this boat scene coming up. And I love the lights reflecting off the water there. It's just so nice. And
Ooh, yeah.
this is another example of the diegetic music where you could just imagine, this is Henry's score, but you can imagine that people dining on this boat are hearing the same things we're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
While they watch the bridge projected behind them.
And actually, they're adding a little bit of reverb to their dialogue every time they go under the bridge to make sure that the audience can hear that, oh, they are going under this cavernous structure.
That's kind of neat. Paying attention to detail like that.
Yeah, it's good. That's a good sound designer.
Oh, thank you. What are you going to say about that now, Carson Dahl? I mean, someone else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's a moving picture coming at you.
Yeah.
But you can hear the reverb.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting because that's a practical effect that they would have seen, during the filming. It was projected, onto a screen. And so it was done in camera.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same, in a way, that's the same kind of effects that they're using in The Mandalorian with computer generated sets projected onto a screen around them in real time.
Interesting. When they're slowly passing by these buildings, though, you can feel that could be real.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's very well done.
So now his name is Adam Canfield.
The only reason that you can tell that it's a projection is because of the difference between the foreground and the background.
Yeah.
If they had somehow been able to blend that, you couldn't tell.
And if you notice, the scenes behind her are different from the scenes behind him, just to show that, okay, on this side of the river is what you're going to see, but on her side of the river, you're going to see this.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, their table changed. Before there was nothing on it but 2 glasses of sherry. Now they're selling a full meal.
I would
That's
love to have a
because-
dinner like that.
That's because they started with an appetizer and sherry, and now they're on to the next course. The table was cleared while they were standing.
And her part of her character is she every time she's terrified or
She
anxious
eats.
or sad, she's very hungry. But every time
Mhm.
she's happy, she's not hungry. This is funny where this boat spotlights the lovers. Let's have hundreds of people watch you kiss. Oh, and this is the scene where the actual song, the singing is happening, where you actually hear the lyrics of this song that was released with this film. And I can always imagine, like in a boat setting like this, I can imagine a group of musicians gigging, in the background.
Yeah, it would be a lovely place to, take your new bride or.
I like it with the lights on though, but I think that I'm not a fan. I will say this: I am not a fan of seeing people kiss, even with actors. But they are very convincing. I love the lights. And the lights are on again.
I love the fact that she's learned this guy who she just met has had 3 different names in as many days, and she's still okay with him.
Yeah, she wants to believe he's telling the truth. There's something in her saying, I really want to believe you're on the right side. You're telling me the truth, even though I'm not sure what to expect.
Of course, I have written this entirely differently. I have written it that she was just playing him, and at the end, she takes off with the money.
But wouldn't that be more that kind of noir-esque, like this is kind of a love story as it is a suspense story.
Yeah.
Oh, that all along she was playing them.
Oh, I wanted to bring a point, so there's a really tense scene coming up, and Mancini, he's using just the solo piano, and the way he's doing this is really effective. He's using very close notes that are da-da, very close, but they're actually he's using octave displacement, which means he's carrying these notes on extreme ranges of the piano.
Mm-hmm.
And it does add kind of that disturbing element to it.
Yeah.
And it's not more than 3 notes either.
Evelyn Hampton said November 22nd, 1963.
Yep.
I think I might have said the 23rd by mistake.
You're really good with dates, Al. You're really good with dates. Like, you seem to remember a lot of these. I mean, they're important dates, of course, but I don't remember them.
Yeah.
Owen Lister says, but love interests in movies are supposed to kiss. Yeah, but I don't care to watch them. They can fall in love, but then I am like, eh.
What bothers me about most film and stage kisses is that I don't care how good an actor you are, unless it's real, it doesn't look real.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't like real life kissing either to see. I think that's, nah. I never got out of my childish, that's gross.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, I don't know how many times I've ever actually seen real kisses in.
Have you ever been to a baseball game?
Oh, like kiss cam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been to a lot of sporting events now.
Well, I've only been to 2 baseball games. But the point is the kiss cam. And then you see it on screen. It's like, that's not convincing. She looks so cute with that ponytail.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that.
Oh, in case you need some commentary, the inspector's asking, okay, this guy died now. What's going on?
Right.
I'm going to call him J.J. Abrams' older little brother.
Older little brother. Now, Sound Engraver, would you be interested in, because we've done Xanadu. Would you be interested in doing some other musical films?
It would depend on the musical. I'm not a musical person.
Really?
I was widely entertained by Xanadu. And it was really a lot of fun. That film was a lot of fun to look at. I think
that's something like Grease.
Yeah, Grease. I'd have to look at it. Something like maybe West Side Story or something.
Mm-hmm.
It probably would have to be like a classic. I don't know if I think I may have mentioned this on a live stream before, but I was one of those kids that just did not care for seeing characters break out into song. And I've played for musicals as a musician, and I've played for different things. It's just not my thing.
Phantom of the Opera. I enjoyed the musical version, the film version of that. I know a lot of people kind of were iffy on it.
It was okay, but it wasn't.
I enjoyed it. I watched that when I was having my issues, and it cheered me up.
Oh, sure. I was saying, yeah, Phantom would be great. Les Miserables would be awesome.
I would check out Miserables. Yeah. I would definitely check that out. I kind of feel like I should read the book first.
But here's the thing: after you know what, do yourself a favor if you're going to read that one. Don't be afraid to read an abridged version of it, because the original Victor Hugo novel has just a ton of really boring political commentary that isn't even translatable very well. It's very specific to the day, and it's like, unless you're really, really into that era of French history, it's dry and
Yeah, I probably would look into that too. An abridged version would be fine.
I normally would never tell someone to read an abridged version of anything, but that book, probably not a bad idea.
Right.
But what I was actually thinking of as we were watching this, what I think would be a great musical, because there's there's some similar thematic elements, is The Music Man.
Oh, I could probably do Music Man, like the film.
Yeah.
Oh,
Robert Preston and Shirley Jones.
Yeah, I probably could do that one.
Shirley Jones. I loved Shirley Jones. Oh my gosh. Actually, I still do. She's still beautiful.
Now, when was The Music Man made?
That was late 60s, wasn't it?
It was early 60s.
Was it?
Because it had
that was
little Ronnie Howard.
Yeah, she was really. Oh, it was 62. It was.
Was that the only one too, or was there an older one?
No, they made a. Well, I don't know if there was one that came before it, but there was a remake of it done with Matthew Broderick. I never actually saw it.
I'd have to look at the story first, of course. But I remember seeing a music piece that I really did enjoy when I did watch. It was only one song I had seen, but I remember being engaged by that. But of course, with everything, I'd have to look at the story, make sure everything's fine.
I'd really like to do that one if you'd be.
I want to do Phantom of Paradise.
Phantom of
the Paradise.
Yeah.
Based on Troy's reaction, I don't know if that's an immediate yes.
It's been a long time. I just remember it being odd. It's like a rock version of Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in that 70s style rock.
Stop distracting me, Cary Grant. She's responding.
It's like me and Nanette. Stop it.
And they all look back like, we need our interpretation, please.
I have to hit him. It's like, I'm trying to do my job here. You want me to get fired?
That's so sweet.
Yeah, just use Google Translate.
Yeah, we'll see Tex a little bit later in the scene where he's looking around and he has a notebook. He's like, it could look like a cell phone from a distance, but it's like, yeah, he was looking for something out of a notebook.
And did you hear what she just said 10 minutes ago? I had a job. Basically, he just got her fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, Troy, stop goofing off.
Yeah, I know. Now, one other thing, she's not on screen, but what I wanted to comment on was, there she is. Now she's wearing gold. Earlier, she was wearing a red dress, and she wore a black dress, and she had black and white. She's had all different styles and colors. Is there any color she can't wear?
I
No.
could not wear that color to save
Right?
my
Not
life.
everyone could.
I love the look of Tex as an antagonist.
Mhm.
But yeah, that yellow, no, I would look like I'm ready to, pass out or something. I would look very sick. I don't have the skin tone for that color.
And Nanette too. That's why I don't understand how she's just so versatile that she seems like she could wear anything.
She has those Mediterranean skin tones that can carry any color.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm a boring Scottish and English. All right, Nanette, your deduction is valid.
That
Mhm.
Yeah. So Tex saw that they're in a stamp market.
bless you.
I love the music when they come to this realization. It's just these brass kind of with the tremolo of the strings. It's really wonderful.
I love the how they show the stamps too, just that like those quick flashes.
Yeah, and it's cut. The music and the imagery are one and the same in that.
Mhm.
I like that a lot.
This poor guy can't get a taxi.
Could you see some poor philatelist watching this film going, "Oh, I need that stamp"?
Now, actually, Owen Lister raises a good question, and he's asking you, Netter, and I think we can all come in too. He says, "How do you convert money into a stamp?" And it's actually the value of the stamp itself.
Exactly. And then you would take that stamp to like a collector, and then they would give you the money for that stamp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And actually, we'll see a scene coming up where the collector is an honest man, sort of. I think, like he gave the kid like $10 worth of stamps for this. So I don't know how honest he is, but he does relinquish the stamps, and he'll tell the value and why it's the history of the stamps, which I think is pretty interesting. Now, I would say Audrey Hepburn can also wear that color because she has a dark hair color. Nanette you have yellow blonde hair, right, Nanette?
It's actually kind of a dark blonde.
Yeah, I have a dark blonde tone too, so I think that also would kind of clash with that orange yellow.
No, I can't wear orange. I can't wear green. I can't wear yellow. No.
You make an excellent point because you notice she's got the black buttons and the black gloves.
Right.
So it does have a visual symmetry.
There's a lot of people that are into stamps.
Yeah.
That is a very crowded market for stamps.
Well, keep in mind that back then there was probably less things to collect than there are today.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, like flower prints.
Yeah.
I love those coats, both the kids' coat and then the ladies' coats. And he's wearing shorts with that coat. Entree. I will be right back.
Okay. Look at those hardwood floors. Man.
Yeah.
Look at that. Does she not have pierced ears? Because those look like they're clip-ons.
I don't know. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. There's the 250,000. Wow, he was honest. Uh-oh.
Well, that's pretty grisly.
See ya, Tex.
Well, he couldn't have killed them all. The fellow that died in the bathtub, he was with her when he was killed.
Now, this is really great. I want to talk about this music real quick. So you can hear now the chase has begun. You can hear that wood block, that incessant wood block.
Mm-hmm.
And the minimalistic approach of this, it's not minimalism in its traditional sense. But so what's happening with the score is that it's the incessant wood block, so it's kind of aggravating. It's like it's really tense. And there's this bass ostinato it's a lot more varying than the wood block. Well, I would say a little more varying than wood block, but not by much. And then you can kind of hear just a little bit of punctuation in the piano that's also incessant, that's also not really varying. And as this is moving, as the scene is going, you're going to start hearing a climbing of brass and low strings getting into the high strings. So you have this incessant pulse, this ostinato or obstinate bass line, while the brass and the string sections are steadily climbing higher and higher and higher. And it's really off-putting. It's supposed to be off-putting. And it's just seen in this kind of music. And then it's quiet. Actually, I can't hear it too much. Maybe my volume's low.
It's just got the...
But we've got a slow build. Like, just at the low end of the piano, just kind of playing the same jarring chords, but softly. Yeah. And it's also asymmetrical. It's not a rhythmic pulse. It's coming in at different beats. I personally think that's very effective.
That's interesting. If the gate closes so that no one else can try and jump on last second.
Yeah. I wonder if I don't think they have that implemented.
Not very effective. He just kind of pushed it aside a little bit and got through.
Yeah, so someone urgent on the run would disregard that. But maybe someone's like, oh, the train's about to take off.
I find that interesting because I've never been on a train where you couldn't move between cars.
But I've been on trains too where it's between cars, but there's still a little bit of barrier. You're still inside in between them. I love this kind of set piece, all these corridors with the white brick and the phone booths. All right, this is the next part of the mystery about to be concluded. I love how, when she's whispering anxiously, like the viewer can't hear her. I mean, you can hear her, but it's all like, hey, can you speak up? And we kind of have those moving intervals, steadily rising up with the vibraphone and piano and tremolo and the strings, and then quiet. See, I love the use of quiet in these older movies.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. And then we've got the brass, starting loud and then growing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing the truth. We're seeing the identities revealed. And then that incessant percussion coming in. Now, I will say, speaking as a lady, it would stink to run in those shoes.
Yeah.
And now the brass are coming in as chords. So it's getting to the climactic point, the moment of truth. And the bass is not moving, and the percussion is not moving either. It's not varying.
Hmm.
And she still believes him, even after all that. I think she knows.
Yeah.
Now the interesting, and this is more commentary on the story. The one person who told the truth in most instances is the actual villain.
Mm.
So she had a problem with trusting, men, because her husband was
Mhm.
a liar and kept his identity and his past and his deeds from her. And so she's had trouble with anyone willing to lie. But the one person she thought she could trust to help her in this situation has in fact told the truth in most cases, who his past, what his past was, who he is. But he turned out to be the bad guy. There's nothing like a gunfight scene between pillars,
I know.
Now, one plot hole I will say, as cool as this scene coming up is that these doors are open, they're not locked.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can get into a grand theater like
That
this.
and no one hears the gunshots.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that door's locked. He has to find another door. I mean, as a performer, I've been in halls like this, and whether in the audience or playing on stage, and there's definitely security.
Mhm.
But it's a great scene.
I used to work in places like this back when I was a teenager, and there's lots of places to hide.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. So I'm just there, like catwalk. I'm like, whoa. Nice little hiding place.
Another stairwell, another great stairwell under the stage. Actually, in college, I did a couple Shakespeare plays as a musician. The first one, I was on the stage, but the second one, the following year, for Tempest, the first was Twelfth Night, and then the second one was Tempest. I was a musician doing Django Reinhardt on a catwalk. It was really fun. Or,
Cool.
Reinhardt style music on a catwalk. And so I could see the actors from below, but also actors who were suspended in suspending air, like if they were the goddesses or the spirits or the bat. It's a ways down to fall. I don't suspect the setup is like that in real stage work, but what do I know? Yeah, I agree. I agree, Stephen Cruz. This is pretty intense. And he's trying to hear exactly where. That takes an incredible amount of hearing and listening ability.
God, those eyes. Love the lighting on that.
I would be so nervous if I was in well, his name isn't revealed. Many Falls. Now, to be fair, I don't think that would have actually killed him. It would have broken his legs, unless the wind's out of him or something.
Ouch.
Do you think he could perish from that height?
I could
Depends
see
how
him
you fall.
breaking a leg.
Yeah.
Breaking his leg.
He could have knocked his head, but I mean, it could happen.
It
It's
didn't
not
look
out
like
of
he
the
had
realm.
enough head trauma to even knock himself out. So
Yeah.
I don't know what was supposed to have happened there.
Maybe he was arrested, yeah.
Yeah, there was probably a cut scene where he was taken away by the Arctic police. Or sorry, wrong movie.
I wish I knew the reference, but it must have had to do with the actor.
No, it was. I was talking about Superman.
Oh, dang. I botched that. Oh, I absolutely love this outfit she has on.
Mhm.
She's in the United States.
I like the Marine Blues.
Yeah, that is true. I don't have enough hair to hold that hat.
Technically, neither does she.
I love that dress. If I can find it, I'll wear it.
If you can find a pattern, we can make it.
Oh, I just want that solid color. That's an unfortunate last name to marry in.
I knew he was going to say it was his mother.
Now she blinks again in surprise, and there's that ding with the piano.
That was a nice little effect there with all of his.
Yeah, that little the images surrounding it. Yeah. So, hope you like that one.
That was cool. I enjoyed that.
Yep. That
Yeah.
was
If I find another Henry Mancini. I mean, there's Breakfast at Tiffany's also with Hepburn. think 2 for the Road, but I'd have to actually see those films again before I decided that.
That was
Thank you,
highly
Sound and Groove,
enjoyable.
Stephen Cruz.
That was a
said-
good movie.
Thank you.
I kind of like those
Mm-hmm.
whodunit ones, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm. Great twists, great turns.
Yeah, it's supposed to be quirky. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a movie called "It's a Mad, 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 Mad World"?
Yes, that one is so cool.
That would be
Length of the film? Or the title of the film?
yes. It's great. It's called a Mad, Mad, Mad. It's a classic kind of a scavenger. Well, it's not really a scavenger hunt. It's just a kind of a race to get money. And
But it turns into a scavenger hunt of sorts.
yeah, and it's like several different groups or duos or even single try to find a location where a certain amount of money is buried, and it's just them trying to find under the big W. I do remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, wasn't Jimmy Durante in that one?
Yeah, he was the one that set it all up.
Yeah,
it's under the big W. That's my Durante. But it has him setting it up. It's Spencer Tracy's in it, Buddy Hackett. It's got a great cast. But yeah, well, it's one to keep in mind, I think, for a rewatch one night. That's a good one.
I actually want to give a shout out to Tom Spiegel, if that's how you say his name. I think this is his first time on one of my live streams. So thank you for joining. I do appreciate that. And I do appreciate the thumbs up and the thumbs down. I do appreciate the thumbs down because
someone gave a thumbs down.
Because I'm getting more prevalent. See, you're not prevalent for the longest time. Because you don't get your thumbs down, So it's like, yes, good. I'm making a footprint.
I gotta say, someone gave you a thumbs down on your concert. I'm like, what kind of a? Excuse me, I must watch my language.
It's like, I want to know who it is that keeps doing the one thumbs down. It makes me crazy because on they call me Trinity.
Yeah.
Someone gave me a thumbs up. I'm like, what? What's the thumbs down?
I will say someone must have been so mesmerized by my playing that they missed the thumbs up and
yes,
thumbs
that's
down
it.
by mistake.
Oh, someone mentioned Death Trap. That's a good movie too. That has Christopher Reeve in it. At least the one I'm thinking.
And Michael Caine, right?
And Michael Caine, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's based on it was a Broadway play, and it's a mystery.
Now, yeah, for musicals, so anything that's really heavy with music, Xanadu was great. I remember not giving too much of an analysis. I do remember something like Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Log because it was just song after song. And so I was trying to find these and I had a lot more extensive analysis. So it's something that is musically related, whether that be a musical or something like that project, would be more like I would need some time to do that.
Well, I've got 2 suggestions out there for you. I got Les Mis and I got The Music Man. If you want to check those out and at least, give them a once over and say, yeah, I think I'd like to do something like this, or nah, just not my cup of tea.
Sure. Yeah.
Of course, Fantasia, those two.
Oh, yeah,
both
Fantasia. Yeah, we should do Fantasia. And I think there was you guys in the chat, did you guys, I remember some of you interested in doing Fantasia. I wouldn't mind doing the first one and then Fantasia 2000. I think both are fine. Both use great pieces. Like Fantasia 2000 uses Rhapsody in Blue by Gershwin.
Oh, yeah.
The Firebird Suite by Stravinsky. So it's a good film in its own right. So I would be interested in doing a couple of those over the summer. Then yeah, so I'm fine with talking because I always talk. But if you guys wanted to talk about what's happening next, so today's Saturday, right?
Yep.
Today it's or technically it's Sunday now, but yeah.
Oh, it's Saturday for me.
It's still
Still
Saturday.
Saturday for you guys.
Yeah, that's right. Those central people.
The Central.
What can I tell you?
Actually, the thing is, I thought my grandparents were in Central Time for the longest time because they're in Michigan, but apparently they're just over the line where it's Eastern Time, and I was like, I did not know that. See, to me, Eastern Time is like Cleveland, Tennessee, and just goes straight up north, like a straight line north. But apparently, it actually does kind of weave around.
Yeah, it hooks and weaves and ducks and dives and it does all kinds of weird things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, well, coming up, I think tomorrow night is Mr. Matchstick on his channel is going to be watching the anime film Redline.
Yep, I just dropped a link to it. He already got it up, so
okay. I didn't see the link, but maybe it's just not appearing. Oh, there it is.
First one's up.
There you go.
So and he describes that as Speed Racer, if everybody remembers that.
Not on my channel.
Cartoon.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah. Speed Racer on cocaine, I think is what he said. And of course, Monday night. Soundgraver. Yeah, you got a show coming up. Do you know what your theme of the night will be?
I will say between the rewatch on Prof's channel Tuesday and this rewatch, it's probably gonna be really light. It'll be something, but I haven't planned that far ahead. It won't be as intense as Star Wars. I know actually, so I hope the Prof is okay with me saying this, but I think not this coming Monday, but starting the following Monday, I'm going to look into some deconstructionist ideas, which has been found in art. Now, I won't get into the general art overview, but how deconstructionism or deconstructivism, like one of those isms, how that in art had affected music also in the 20th century. And I think we're going to do a bit of a segue. So I'll spend a night talking about that. I think that will be, let me get that date right. It's not going to be this Monday. It's going to be the 22nd. And if all goes well, I know the Prof has midterms. So if the 29th doesn't work out, then he'll let me know. But I'm going to hopefully have the Prof on my live stream the following week, the 29th. And he'll talk about the deconstruction of heroes, and maybe we'll find some parallels there.
Oh, very cool.
So that will be my agenda.
Yeah, very cool. Then Tuesday we have Murder My Sweet?
I think that was the one.
Yeah, Murder My Sweet is this Tuesday for a rewatch. It's another Raymond Chandler story with someone else playing. Who was it again? I can't remember the character name. All I can think of was Mike Hammer, and I know it's not Mike Hammer. But it's the same character that was in the last movie. But yeah, so we'll be watching that. Thursday. I don't know what we're doing Thursday yet. Has he put up a story yet? And I don't know about it.
I haven't seen anything. I probably will take the week off.
I got the impression that he wasn't doing a reading yet, because we're not starting the next book till the following week.
But he wanted
to talk about something.
Yeah, but he had mentioned putting it like a short story, like one of the Conan stories, something like
maybe.
Read. But he hasn't decided yet. Or if he has decided, he hasn't let us in on it. So,
before I forget, the link that I dropped in on the Prof's last show about Scoundrels, Star Wars Legends, the ebook, I paid for my ebook. I haven't gotten it yet, so just letting you guys know there might be a delay in you getting it. So you may want to go a different route to get that, but because I haven't gotten mine yet, I paid $1.54. I haven't gotten it yet. I've been sending emails to the seller going, where's my download? So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't want anyone else to get stuck. So it's like, I'm just letting you know I'm having an issue. You may get yours right away, but I didn't want anyone to get stuck.
Yeah.
Owen Lister is taking me to task, or Speed Racer is an anime, not a cartoon.
I want to say Owen Lister also is saying goodnight because he has church tomorrow. So I definitely commend that. And so Thursdays, for now, we're just kind of
we're not sure
our eyes out for that.
Yeah, and Friday night, Fan Man is. He said it'll probably be a Fan Man tonight. So
cool. So like a just talking and commentary.
like a chat. Yeah.
Cool.
Right now, of course, he can always change his mind.
That's
Uh,
true. I like his
and
Second Cup cafes.
yes. Tuesdays. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me about that. Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually around uh, anywhere between 11 and 12, I think, Eastern time. He does the Second Cup Cafe, where he does whatever is on his mind, any stories that are kind of prevalent, not necessarily geek related, but just anything. And it's a great hour, a great couple of hours to listen to the Fan Man. He's just got that voice for radio. It's just very work, and it's a great show. It's a great show to listen to.
I've said this before, but I'll say it again. He's got the radio voice and personality. He's got his sound effects. I love his. I actually laugh at his jokes, and then when he puts on the crickets, I just laugh even harder.
Yeah, I know. But
well, at least
but
they're probably guessing AM or PM.
It is AM. It's called Second Cup Cafe because it's at the time he has his second cup of coffee. I think it's a great name for a show.
Oh yeah, it's better than my silly coffee live because I can't think of another title right now because I love that thumbnail.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been on Fan Man's channel. He kind of ballparks it between 10 and 11 Central Time, I think.
Yeah, kind of. That's whenever he comes on. Usually it's around the 10:30 mark, Central Time, which is 11:30 Eastern. God, see, I Eastern, Central. God, so confusing.
Too many. Now, actually, before we move on, what's happening Saturday night, Al?
Saturday night on Big Al Presents, we'll be doing a rewatch of the 1981 action fantasy classic Clash of the Titans, the original 1981.
And you have your picture for that, right?
Yes, I have. I have Bubo Al, not the owl. He's an owl.
I never made that connection.
Ready to go.
That's great.
There was a joke when we were playing. In my D&D days, we were talking about different kind of were creatures, where wolves or were bears and everything. And someone said were owl, and I heard were owl. And so everybody started making fun. What would happen if we turned into Al at when the moon was full? And everybody, we'd suddenly start watching TV, have to watch TV, and just a weird everybody was making fun, and it was kind of fun. It's like the were Al.
Yeah.
But I got Bubo. I got my face on Bubo ready to go. Although I don't know, I've got a couple cracking pictures. Thank you, Troy, by the way, for those.
No problem.
That I'm going to try as well. We'll just see. I got a week to play around if my computer doesn't blow up on me.
And I do thank you for the thumbnail for this one. That was great that you guys did that.
My pleasure.
And I do want to.
Did the best I could with what I had.
Yeah, excellent. And I do want to, if you don't mind, Netter, can we talk about your channel? Like any
Sure.
things coming up?
I don't have anything on there yet. I actually filmed some things. It just needs to be edited before I can put it up. And my editor's working on that. Before those of you who aren't aware, I changed my channel name from my name to being Netter's Network. That was a suggestion from Big Al, and I love the name, so I decided to change it to that.
It's great.
It's actually going to be a hodgepodge of different things. So some of it's going to be debunking some how-tos. Like if you've ever seen 5-minute crafts, a lot of stuff doesn't really work.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of take things like that and go, yeah, this is a complete fail, but it works if you do this. Or
that's fantastic.
It's also going to be, like I said, it's going to be kind of eclectic. So then I'll also be doing like makeup comparisons. Like this foundation really works well. This one is crap. Or because I got really dark under eye circles. This is a great concealer. This one is not. You tell me which one you like better, type of thing. So it's going to be lots of different things, just to keep it interesting. And then I might actually try to settle kind of on more towards one thing than another. But right now, I just kind of want to like throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, that's I think very important to see, you know, which gets the most attention, but also what you like to do.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
like the idea of doing the craft thing. There's like the hacks that everybody talks about. It's like you could hack something if they actually do work or not.
You should call it like hacking the hacks or something
Yeah.
like something along those lines.
Yeah, because like there's one that I saw recently where they're like, you know, you're going camping and your matches get all wet. Put it in this container and just take the striking pads and put it on the top and then just dump your matches into the container. I'm like, one match hits that strike surface, they all go up. And depending on the container, it's going to melt if it's plastic. You know, if it's in your backpack, it could set your whole backpack on fire. No, that's not safe.
I feel like you, yeah. Who else is it? Like, I feel like you're one of those people. I know another person, but he's on YouTube, like that. You know really useful things that none of us else know, or maybe not. Maybe most of us don't know. Like, oh, I never considered that.
That's what my channel was starting off to be. I was going to be calling it simple because basically it's like, you know, you always hear people say, oh, everyone knows that. Well, no, you don't, because if you've never seen it before or no one's ever showed it to you before, you don't know it.
Yeah.
So I was going to start off showing things like, for example, I had braces recently, and I was going to show what it was like to have the braces on and how to care for them, as well as what it was like once I got them off, and, you know, different things to go along with that. And that one I actually filmed. It still needs to be edited. But that's one of the things that's like, hey, you know, I'm an adult that had braces. This is how, you know, this is what I had to go through for this. So if you think braces are scarier or it's like, I'm not sure what to expect, I was telling them what to expect, you know?
Yeah, that's great. I think that's gonna be excellent stuff to see. So we'll be on the lookout for that for sure. Netters Network, and I'm a fan of the title. It's a great title.
Yeah, Big Al came up with it. It's
Hats to you, Big Al. That was great.
Yay!
Yeah.
I love I'm a fan of alliteration. So
Me too. Yeah. So so was that everything we were plugging? And am I missing anything? I'll do a recap. Tomorrow is Mr. Matchstick's Red Line rewatch. So tonight, so look out for that on Twitter or on the Professor Geek group page, which I have to admit I'm kind of having fun with. I hate to admit that because it's Facebook.
Facebook is not evil. I don't know why people think Facebook is evil. It's not.
Actually, I understand you thinking that any social media is evil, but Facebook is far less evil than Twitter.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you're on Twitter.
I can control Twitter, but Facebook controls us. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so Sunday is Mr. Matchstick, and for Redline rewatch, I'm doing something Monday, 9:30, 9:45, you know, between 9:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern. So watch out for that. And Tuesday is this another noir with the Professor noir film?
Yes, Murder My Sweet.
Murder My Sweet. So that will be on Tuesday night, probably 10 p.m. Eastern. Anything happening Wednesday before I move on to Second Cup Cafe on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
No, Wednesday's a nice open night.
Yeah,
on
Wednesdays
Wednesday,
is Big Al's
Wednesday
night
I
off.
rest. Yeah, usually I rest on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah. And we've got Friday with Fan Man. I'll tune into that if it's commentary. I think there's a lot to be said. Oh, let me also and then also Clash of the Titans on Big Al Presents channel. Let me also recommend before I forget the Professor's recent video on his tribute to Denny O'Neil. I think I listened to it twice. It's very wonderful.
The great Denny O'Neil.
Yeah, and I don't know really anything about him because I don't read comics, but it really had me think of what to consider as a writer. So I think it's for comic book readers and fans, and also people who just really want to not aspire, but to work in these kinds of settings and this creative output. So yeah, check out his recent channel. That's excellent work. And if you guys don't have anything else, I think I'll actually wrap it up.
Well, I was going to say, for those who haven't yet subscribed to Sounding Nerd, make sure that you do that. Hit the notifications bell, hit that thumbs up.
Like
You know?
me. Don't dislike
You
me.
know,
Do all the usual YouTube things.
people do that. I always think of Sally Field. You like me. You really like me.
Like me. And thank you for people who tune into Orville Nation. Evelyn, I don't know if you guys do, but Evelyn Hamilton. There was Lisa Kelly. I think there was another one I'm missing.
Julie
so people,
Whitefeather.
Yeah, Whitefeather. Thank you guys for tuning in to my channel for this. And until I see you guys next, be always on the lookout for some sound experimentation every Thursday, some live commentary on art, but mainly music, maybe Star Wars every Monday night at 9:30 Eastern Time. And until I see you guys again, keep producing the art you love, and I will catch you later. Thanks.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.